Vani is better at why? Why would the instructions be more beneficial and more better than the physical presence?
Mm, to me, I think the instructions would be better because it can continue, it can
Yes, yes.
replicate. Yeah.
Yeah, the instructions are always there. I mean, Prabhupada's books are always there.
Mm,
His lectures, his videos are always there like that. And whereas the physical presence, I mean, that went in 1977, but even when he was physically present, you can't always just go to Prabhupada and say, "Oh, excuse me, Prabhupada, I have a question. Can you please tell me the answer?" Because sometimes he has to sleep, right? Sometimes he's writing in the nighttime.
mm,
Sometimes he's eating. Sometimes he's having a bath. Sometimes he's traveling and you can't be with him all the time because he's always moving. So even when he's physically present, you can't always take advantage of his association. But the instructions are there 24/7, 24/7 in Russia, in Africa, in China, in Mozambique, in, Timbuktu. The instructions are there everywhere. You can't sleep in the middle of the night and you're in anxiety. You can just
mm.
get up and open up Prabhupada's book and he's going to tell you, look, just focus your mind on Krishna and you'll find ultimate peace and like this. So, you can connect with him and it's an immediate connection with the person, by hearing their words like that, like that. We can follow that. So, no need to despair. But however, it said when the physical presence is there of the guru, the leader, then you should take advantage of that. So I'm not saying someone is present and you shouldn't take advantage. No, you should. But then if they're not physically present, then you just absorb yourself in their instructions like that. And and we see the problems come, individually or as a society when we stray away from those instructions, then things become difficult. Even like, something that, upsets us, Jayanti and others, is like changing his instructions, like his books,
Oh, yeah.
the BBT is changed. That's the worst thing you can do is not only you don't follow the instructions, but you change them, interpret them, and change them, and think you know better. I think I know better than the leader, and I'll become a leader, and like that, change what he said. So these kind of things are very upsetting. But no, the remedy is just to strictly follow the instructions like that, and and like in our case, we went back to Prabhupada's original books. And we
Mm.
don't have the new books, we have the old books. Um, so we know we've got 100%, exactly what Prabhupada had said, like that. So, yeah, we know what the cause of the problems are and we know what the solution is. We just have to just be very chaste, very chastely follow our
Mm.
leader like that. Find a good leader, first thing is. So we found the ultimate leader, Krishna God, and then
Mm.
whoever's representing him is also a good leader like that, and we just stick to that, and then we can't go wrong like that. And
Someone who is new um, won't know about the changes in Prabhupada's books.
correct.
They,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like cheating them, really. It's like cheating the person they don't know, and they're being cheated like that. I mean, still, I would say there's still a lot of benefit, don't get me wrong. Even say whatever is intact of the original, that is going to benefit them so much, going
Mm.
to benefit them so much. But it could be better. They could get more benefit, but still they're getting benefit, even if they're reading an edited, a completely revised and edited book like Bhagavad Gita. Still, they're going to get heaps of benefit, but it could be more powerful, more powerful.
Do you know whether the changes that are being that are coming through in the newer editions, is it altering the essence, or is it like, for instance, like cosmetic changes, grammatical or whatever, which
Yeah,
maybe that's all right, but
yeah,
is it
both are there. Yeah,
uh
changing the essence and the grammatical, both are there.
really?
Like
Oh.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Changes in the English translations and also the purports, like
Hmm.
that. So, yeah, like that. So, yeah, we have to try to be chastely following those original instructions, and that's going to be the best thing.
Hmm.
And as we become more advanced in Krishna consciousness, our desire to have that real association, spiritual association, should increase, not decrease. It should increase. You might think an advanced devotee, he doesn't need any association, and it's not correct.
Hmm.
Actually, an advanced devotee, one of the symptoms of an advanced devotee is this very uh, great eagerness and hankering to have association with other
Hmm.
devotees like
Hmm.
that. And like I say, if you can't physically get it, then you're getting it through, like I said, the Vani, so then
Hmm.
they're absorbing themselves in the different scriptures and like that. And an advanced devotee cannot live without association of the Lord and other advanced devotees like that. So they'll be definitely doing that. And that's what makes we can just briefly look at that. Well,
Hmm.
let's first of all offer our respect to Prabhupada.
Hmm.
Om Magyana Timrandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Malatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual
Hmm.
master has kindly opened my eyes with the shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances to his lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So what I'm thinking about is we've just passed it not too long ago, 10th chapter,
Hmm.
text number 9.
Mm-hmm. Yep, got there.
You could read the English translation of that.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Hmm. That's how we need to be. We should be. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, everyone's searching for satisfaction, searching for bliss, happiness. Where does a devotee get that from? We don't get it from going to the pub, going to the cinema, going to the cafe and everything like that, watching the football match. We get it from coming together and enlightening one another, conversing about God. We come together and we talk about God. And that
Mm.
was the whole purpose of why we started off these soul searching sessions way back, like a decade ago. And
2016 or so, I think. Yeah.
well, yeah, a decade ago. Yeah, well, so a decade, 10-year anniversary.
Mhm.
So why we started that 10 years ago in the Bhakti Tree is it gives the devotees great satisfaction and bliss just coming together and talking about God like that. And that's why we've continued that, even though we're physically separated.
Mhm.
But why we've continued that, because that's what that gives the devotee satisfaction and bliss, is talking about God together. And you'll find that throughout all the religions, same principle. You can't escape that. Someone loves God, you just enjoy talking about them, and that's the nature of love, right? If you love your partner, you're talking about your partner. You love your kids, you're talking about your kids. You love your parents, you'll talk about your parents. You love your dog, you'll talk about your dog. Oh, my dog did this, or he pooped out in the park and I picked it up and everything like that. So whatever it is you love, you'll be talking about it, like that. And like that, the mum, will talk about, my baby pooped his pants and I cleaned his pants, and they won't worry that there was cleaning up the poop, but they love their kid, whatever he does, is eating and pooping and everything,
Yes.
and anything about, and same like. Devotees enjoy talking about Krishna dancing with the gopis, and we also enjoy hearing about Krishna fighting on the Battle of Kurukshetra. And
Mm.
this is, what the basis of what happens after the Bhagavad Gita. There's a big
Mm-hmm.
battle. But we enjoy anything about God, whether it's God fighting on the battlefield or God, romantically dancing with his cowherd girls, or stealing butter and yogurt, even Krishna's stealing. We love talking about Krishna stealing like that, or anything, chopping someone's head off or hugging and embracing someone, anything related to God,
Mm.
we get a lot of enjoyment from that. And that's just the nature of love. You love whatever you love, you'll be talking about it. In fact, what's one of the main things in modern society that you can tell what they love? Because what is the main subject matter of their talking? What is the main subject matter of the talking, which indicates what's in their heart? What are they attached to? Because love means attachment, and what you're absorbed in, what you're thinking about.
Themselves.
Like it's mentioned here in this 10:9, the thoughts of my devotees dwell in me. Their lives are so that means love. Well, why do Krishna's devotees thinking about Krishna? Because they love Krishna. Whatever you love, you're going to think about it. So and you're going to talk about them, so what is the main subject matter that in modern society that people are talking about?
Themselves.
Johnny says themselves.
Themselves.
No, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
it's money, money, money.
Money, yes. So that indicates, that they love money. They love money. They're always, they're very attached to money, and they're always absorbed in thinking about money. And therefore they're thinking about money, and that's what they talk about too. So whatever you're
Yeah,
thinking about, naturally you'll be talking about it too.
I think
That's indicating what's in your mind. What's in your mind is what you're going to be talking about, like that.
yeah, they're talking about money in terms of how it can satisfy all their sense objects that they are
Yeah,
seeing and
yeah,
every all
yeah.
of that.
So it's not actually the money that's giving us the satisfaction, but it's
Uh,
what you can do with the money.
uh,
That if I have money, I can get a nice car
mm.
to show off to my friends and drive my girlfriend around in, and take my kids to school or on a holiday or whatever like that. So it's what you can do with it, that if I have money, I can get that house and I can live there with my partner and kids and everything like that, and show off once again to everyone how successful I am, that I've got this multi-million-dollar mansion in Bondi Beach or whatever like that. So yeah, it's what you can do with that money that we're thinking that will bring me the satisfaction and bliss. But of course it doesn't, it brings great anxiety and fear and so many things. The more material things we have as a cause, the more material attachments we have as a cause of great anxiety and fear, like that. We were just been hearing Prabhupada, because that's what I do every day. I listen to Prabhupada's lectures. So
Mm.
we're hearing about one pastime in the sixth canto Bhagavatam about Ajamila. So
Mm.
Ajamila was born Brahmin family, but due to bad association, he saw a low-class man and woman embracing each other, and that disturbed his mind, and he left his good wife and hooked up with this prostitute. And then he had 10 children with this lady. And then the youngest child was named Narayan. So that was his saving grace. So he is very attached to the youngest child. And Sanskrit's an amazing language. The word for affection, the word for affection in Sanskrit is called sneha.
Oh, yes.
Sneha means affection. And the word sneha also means oil. Like in Ayurveda, there's the process in Panchakarma, snehana. So that means you're getting oil massage. That's part of the Ayurvedic treatment, is oil massage, because it's called snehana. And I'd always seen that snehana, but it didn't click.
You're just being
It's
loved.
It's the same as affection.
The oil massage is that you're just being loved. That's all.
No, that may be something else. But oil goes downwards, right? Oil goes downwards. It's going to dribble downwards, obviously, from high to a low point. And that's where the affection goes to the lowest point. So what that means is the most affection from the parents will go to the youngest child. So that's the sneha. So that just like oil goes down, so the affection goes down to the youngest child. So although 10 children, but the maximum affection was to the youngest. Maximum affection is to the youngest. Like that. I don't know if you can remember that when your 2 boys were little fellas, where was the maximum affection? Was it to the youngest?
I can't tell myself. To me, it was equal, but
yeah.
Suhail always says that everything is for Anand, and but Anand, Anand's quite indifferent. I mean, he's like, yeah, right, okay, because Suhail's the boss type of. I don't know. They fight amongst themselves, but for me, it's I think quite equal, fair. I don't know. That's my assessment.
Yeah. But in this case, it was definitely happening that the maximum affection was to the youngest child, Narayan. So he was always thinking about Narayan and talking about Narayan. Narayan, come and have your lunch. Narayan, do this. Narayan. So then when he was, time of death came, like the last breath, the Yamadutas came to take him to hell because it's very sinful. But he was calling Narayan, so then the Vishnu Dutas came. And actually, they prevented the Yamadutas from taking him away, his soul. And what a wonderful thing. Saved his life, that he was calling the name of Narayan.
But he was actually calling the child's name. Or it actually says at that time he
was initially calling the child's name, but it's mentioned when he said the child's name, that a memory came to him of the original Narayan. The memory came of the original Narayan.
And it also, I think Prabhupada was saying that that's why they name, in that culture, they name their children God's name.
So that's very intelligent culture, where the parents are giving the name for the child of God's name, one of God's names.
But I think this is it's even in other belief systems also. It's very common for people to be named after the saint. So I don't know.
Yeah. My parents named me after the brother of Moses or something, Aaron. It's the brother of Moses. But they didn't know that because they're atheists. But anyway, the name was there. And we were contacting one girl recently contacted us. Her name's Trinity.
Oh, wow.
Trinity. So that's that's God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? In Christianity, God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Or Triambagam. In Sanskrit, we'll say Triambagam.
Right. Triambadam.
Triambagam. Triambagam, yeah, it's with a G, G or a K, yeah. Triambagam. There's a, I mean, Jayanti will know that. I mean, it's not a Krishna one, but it's Triambagam Yajamake Sugantim Pushtivartanam.
I've heard of that one.
Urvaruhamiva Bandhanam Rityam Mukshiyam Avrata. Yes.
That's true. Shiva, right?
I don't know. I just Triambagam, and to me, I see it as because
I think Triambakeshwar is Shiva.
Possibly, I don't know. I don't read too much into it, but for me, like, because even the tilak is three. There's three to it, isn't it? Like it's a three, like a trident.
Like a trident, yeah.
Isn't it? So is that, yeah? So I see it like that.
Tilak?
The tilak.
Two with a thing in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But he carries the trishu, right? The three-pronged spear. Trishu.
So for me, it's like
Trishul, yeah.
I
had my Sanskrit guru next to me.
No, that's very good. No, actually,
Trishu means three shoes. Otherwise, Trishu. What is Trishu?
Trishul.
Yeah.
No. Trishul.
Thank you.
No,
so yeah, this is naturally whatever your love, then you'll be talking about. So this is should be the result we see of a devotee's life. They always love to be talking about God, something related to God.
But if you hate somebody also, you could be talking about them.
No, don't talk to them.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of the material world. It's a duality. So then you'll get opposites like that. But that's also a kind of attachment. But in that negative way, attachment is there. And like Kamsa was always thinking about Krishna, but in that negative way, that I want to kill him.
And still he got the benefit of that.
Kamsa. Of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So God is very kind. He's very flexible. According, he understands, and he can see, he knows all. So that he's quite fluid. Yeah,
he takes the good out of what you're doing, which is you're thinking about him. You're thinking about him, so you get the credit for that. You get the credit for thinking about him. And however, we would say the destination of someone that hates God is not going to be the same destination as someone that loves God. If they love God, they're going to be dancing with him in Vaikuntha in the spiritual world. And if they hate God, they'll also be liberated, but not the same liberation. They merge into the spiritual light, the Brahmajyoti, which is not as good as the liberation a devotee gets. But still, they get released from the material world because they were thinking in a negative way about God, that I hate God and I want to kill him and like that. But they have to have that specific knowledge about who God is. It's not enough for an atheist to say, I hate God and like that, God is dead and there is no God. And, so he's talking about God, but without that knowledge of who God is, they're not going to be liberated. They're going to be, punished in a hellish existence like that. But this is a special case where Kamsa specifically knew Krishna, and but he was envious of Krishna. So yeah, if they have that specific knowledge that God is Krishna, God is Rama, God is Nrsimhadev, just like Hiranyakashipu got so much benefit like that from that hatred of Hiranyaksha, of Nrsimhadev. And Hiranyaksha also, Hiranyakashipu's brother, also got benefit by that hatred of Vrahadeva, the bull reincarnation. Hiranyaksha fought with Vrahadev, and Hiranyakashipu fought with Narasimhadev, but they all got great benefit by fighting and hatred of those forms of the Lord. But yeah, better to love God than to hate God, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, this is something we should see. We should see in the life of an advanced devotee. They'll always be talking about God. So that's a good sign.
Actually,
That's a good
it's,
sign.
if I just, for me, because I've been watching a lot of spiritual things on the YouTube is one thing, but my mind and it's been quite consumed with spiritual matters, and therefore I find that things just like I got information that there is this this person that I associate with on Vedic meditation, and he is taking, and he has been in prior years, but this time I got the notification that he's taking a group to India, Tamil Nadu, on like a Navagraha, like all the Navagraha temples and all that, and it's a 2-week thing, and I want to go. That's in January. I'm like, so I get those sorts of things just come to me, and then I have to. But let me see. I'll see. I would love to go. The Navagraha. Let's see. If it's meant to be, it will be. Yeah, you're gonna say something.
Like I said, encourage the boys to take up more responsibility with managing the household affairs, and that should be a natural progression, vanaprastha, that after the grihastha period and all the family responsibilities are completed, like that, the children are grown up and they're established, then the parents can spend more time on their spiritual development like that. So that this is the right time to be doing that, traveling to different holy places and associating, like I said, with devotees, spending more time with other spiritual practitioners and like that. The materialistic phase, just maintaining household affairs, that's over. And like us here too, we don't have, much financial pressure or anything like that. So this is a time when we should focus more on, either spreading Krishna consciousness or, recharging ourselves. And like we're talking about, Jayanti's thinking a lot about going to India like that. And
for good or to
no,
visit?
just for a recharge. For a recharge. She said she did think about that too. But yeah, one way or another, like that, to have, association with other spiritual practitioners and visit holy places and remember more about Krishna's pastimes in these places and like that. And that is a good opportunity as we get later in life. The financial pressure is less like that. Everything's set up and you can just go and do things like that. And that's the right thing to be doing. And whatever wealth we've accumulated, that's a good use of it to spend it for our spiritual advancement like that. Just keeping in the bank or whatever like that is not the best use of money. We should use it for some spiritual benefit like that.
It'll all happen as it's meant to. Sometimes it's too much to think about.
Yeah, Krishna's waiting to see what our desire is too, though. He's waiting to see. Then he'll make arrangements according to our desire. We want to sit on our pot of gold like a yaksha, or we want to, advance to going back home, back to Godhead at any cost. Like that, at any cost. Okay, let's we started half an hour late. We can either finish up very soon, which is the normal time we finish up, or we can go a little bit further. Maybe we can just read the verse and for for a few minutes and then leave it at that. So today's one is 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. Text number 21. So we can read the Sanskrit.
The Sanskrit.
10:21. So yeah, this section we've just started. This section is how we can remember God in the material world in the scenario where we can't see God. Like if we're in the spiritual world, everyone can see Krishna face to face. But here we can't do that. It seems like Krishna's not here. We're not qualified to see his spiritual form with these material eyes. But these are different ways. Krishna's giving us a clue how we can see him in the material world, how we can remember him by perceiving his energies. But we have to connect the dots. We have to see the connection between God and his energies. So we're not seeing God, but we're seeing his energies. We just have to remember this is his energy, and then immediately that will remind us of him. And we gave the example, you can't see the sun in the sky because, say, there's a cloud there or whatever, you're in your house, but you can see the sunlight. As soon as you see the sunlight, you know for sure, without any doubt, that the sun must be somewhere.
The sun's there.
You can't see it, but you can see the sunlight. But that immediately tells you that the sun is there. Or you can feel the heat. You can feel the heat of the sun, so you know the sun must be somewhere in the sky like that. And in the same way with the energies of God. Okay, so we can read the Sanskrit. Adityanam Maham Vishnur Jyotisam Ravir Amshumam
Marichir
Marutamasmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi.
Aham Shashi. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. Of the what's Maruts?
Maruts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind.
There's the wind.
So
there's a whole group of them. And the purport Prabhupada says there are 50 kinds of wind, 50 varieties of wind blowing in space. And of these winds, the controlling deity, Marichi, represents Krishna. So, yeah, the 50 varieties of wind blowing in space, and the controlling deity of those 50 winds is Marichi. So those 50 varieties of wind, there'll be a person that controls each one of them. So there'll be 50 persons that control those 50 different winds, and Marichi is the chief of all those 50 personalities like that. Like that. Whenever there's some particular energy, there's always a person that controls it. You can't have an energy by itself without a person that controls it. You always got the two together. You have the personality, and you have an energy that comes from that personality. So you have the sun energy, but there's also a person that controls the sun, and that's Vivashvan, Suryadev, like that. You'll have the moonlight, but there's the person Chandra that is the source of that energy, that moonlight, like that. Just like now, some energy is coming, the voice, so our voice is being projected, but there's the voice is coming from a person. The voice is the energy, like that, but there's a person that is producing that voice. You can't have the voice by itself, and you can't have a person without voice and without energy and all that. So always you've got the two together. And the person is called the energetic. So the energetic is the person that is producing energies. So you got the energetic and the energy. Energetic and the energy, like that. Okay, let's a short purport. Do you want to read the purport?
There are 12 Adityas, of which Krishna is the principal. Among all the luminaries shining in the sky, the sun is the chief. And in the Brahma Samhitas, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space. And of these winds, the controlling deity, Marichi, represents Krishna. Among the stars, the moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. It appears from this verse that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. The theory that there are many suns within the universe is not accepted by Vedic literature. The sun is one, and as by the reflection of the sun, the moon illuminates, so also do the stars. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns, but are similar to the moon.
So that's interesting. That's something a lot of scientists say, is that there are many suns.
Many suns.
Yeah, but that's not true. That's not true. All these stars we see at night are the same scenario as the moon, just reflecting the light from the sun, like that. So how does that help us in our God consciousness? Whenever you look at the stars at night, you can remember Krishna. You can remember Krishna. Whenever you see the moon at night, remember Krishna. See the sun in the daytime. So at night, we can remember God by seeing the stars and the moon. And at daytime, you can remember God by when you see the sun, like that. And that way, 24 hours, you can remember God. In the daytime, you can remember God, seeing the sun. In the night, seeing the stars and the moon, you can remember God. So who can say that, oh, how can I remember God? I can't remember God. It's easy. You just got to know the process. And like I say, you got to connect the dots.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to connect the dots. We can't see God directly, but indirectly we can by perceiving his energies. This is called indirect. Indirect, like that. Just like you might not see your son, but if you see your son's shoes, what will you be thinking about?
Or the pile of laundry in the bathroom.
The pile of laundry, yeah. I want to wring his neck. I want to wring his neck. Like that. So, but yeah, you see something connected with them immediately. You see their school bag, their phone. If you see their phone lying around, you'll remember whose phone it is, like that. So it's just learning to make those connections like that. And that way we can always remember God like that, if we've learnt that art of connecting all those things like that.
Yeah. I know, definitely.
Well, it was nice that we could
connect now. Yes.
Connect up too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's just like last week I was at work, and I mean, which is good. It has, I needed to be at work, but